Because if you're not listening to your students tell you what they want, then you're just essentially pushing your agenda onto them. The upcoming generations don't want that. They want to make their own decisions. They want to take all the information that they have and do their own research and make the decisions.
What do you get when you mix AI, data dashboards, and a few thousand questions from curious high school students? If you're at the University of Pittsburgh, you get a blog, and not just any blog. This one answers the real questions students are asking in real language and drives real enrollment results. Today, I'm joined by Mary Lewis and Samantha McGill from Pitt, their Office of Admissions and Financial Aid. They've built a data-informed content strategy that helps students and families navigate everything from application essays to whether college is still worth it. Mary and Samantha, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Before we got on, I was chatting about how much a fan I am of content marketing. So I'm so excited to dig into what's happening on the Pitt blog. So for those who aren't familiar, can you give us a high-level description of the admissions blog for our audience? What kind of content did you publish on it, and who is it for?
So our blog, it originally, we used to just call it the Juniors blog. It was geared towards students who were getting ready to research and start looking at schools in preparation for taking tours over the summer, over their summer break. We cover questions from what is rolling admissions. The University of Pittsburgh is a rolling admission school. And that is a pretty confusing term if you've never heard about it. So we have an entire... We've got an entire blog topic that is devoted to that. So everything from rolling admissions to what can I expect from being on campus, how do I prep for taking campus tours, and even financial aid. It's a pretty wide scope of different topics.
And then you have some niche stuff too, because I know you have some stuff specific to pre-med and things like that. It's got to be really great search engine optimization, because these are the words and the phrases that people are putting in and they're asking questions about.
So we do a SEO audit on the blog every year. Sam is doing some research for me and getting some new keywords stuffed into it, not overly done, updating meta descriptions as well as adding on different tactics for making sure we're just getting a wide spread of share for it.
One of the things I really like about your approach is that the topics originated from FAQs, or many of them have originated from FAQs. So the things that have come right from students. So can you walk us through how you gathered and prioritized those questions?
So it all kind of started with the call center. They were getting a lot of questions about rolling admissions. What is rolling admissions? And they started answering things over and over and over and over again. Great thing about the call center is those calls are recorded. Anytime an email comes in, those are also recorded. So the ops team is actually able to put that for us in the spreadsheet. The blog actually predates both Sam and I. So we inherited it. We just kind of beefed it up and expanded upon it. But originally the operations team is getting a ton of these questions. They hired a content writer to help answer the big three, which were what is rolling admissions, how do I prep for college visits, and can you help me understand financial aid? So those are the three big topics. They then expanded upon them because now we have about, I want to say we have 10, and I'm working with our content specialist to add a few more.
I was going to say, I think we're adding more.
Yeah.
Wow, because there's that many questions.
Yeah, things keep expanding. Students change. So
True.
A lot of that's Sam. She develops persona reports, and that helps to get into, okay, what needs to get added? Are we missing any, where are our gaps? Do we have this covered in the blog? Is it covered on another page? Is there an opportunity for a blog post? So there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of, honestly, just talking it out. A lot of brainstorming is just having a conversation, just kind of jumping on a Slack huddle and talking about nonsensical stuff, taking what we call ADHD side quests. And yeah.
So if someone's listening and they don't know where to start, go to whoever answers your phone and ask them, what's the question you're most sick of answering?
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good starting place. And I'm big qualitative researcher, so I love that this is where you're getting all of your ideas originating from. I think the hesitation people have with doing this kind of content, because I want to point out all the examples that you have shared are not about Pitt.
No.
Even the rolling admissions, it's about Pitt because that's how you approach admissions, but it's not about Pitt. And I think that's where resistance sometimes comes to this idea of doing content marketing, because it's not about us. So how do you strike that balance between what you want to convey about the brand and what you want to say to students and what students need to understand and hear when it comes to admissions and financial aid?
Like you said, like we are very conscious to not include really anything about Pitt. So even though Pitt is the one who's offering this information, it's all information that these students can take to a different institution or to a different tour process. So like one of the things that we focus on is rolling admissions, because we are a rolling admissions university. That's very different compared to even some of our largest competitors, where you have to apply by this date and then here's the first batch of acceptances, second batch, third batch. And our process is very much you apply, and typically within 30 to 60 days, you have your answer from the date that you applied. We have people working literally from August 1 to April 30th, admitting students, just continuously going through our applications. Mary and I kind of thought about it in the sense that you're not necessarily using this information to decide to go to Pitt. We're the ones offering the information, and that's what you're going to remember. We're the ones that are like, hey, you may not necessarily come to Pitt, but we're the ones that are telling you all of this stuff. Like, subconsciously,
yes,
we're the ones offering the information.
Pitt. Yeah, it totally conveys something about Pitt and what Pitt values. Absolutely. And then where do you see it fitting in the recruitment funnel? When you think about the student's journey, where does this fit?
So we kick it off in January. Due to the rolling admissions process, we start recruiting underclassmen right when we get back from winter recess. Technically, I could start it a lot earlier, but just for my own personal bandwidth and my team probably would kill me, we start in January.
Mary, you're setting the bar too high for the rest of us. I'm just kidding. I like high bar setters.
I do. It's like I like the high bar.
You don't know how else to be, right?
I really don't.
She doesn't.
I really have no idea. I don't know how to do it. But yeah, so it is top of funnel, where it's like that cultivate campaign, like you're kicking off. You may have already warmed these students up. So it actually kicks off with a personalized video. We've worked with a local studio that kind of helped us curate this. The head of our office is the voiceover for it. And it's very almost like Marvel Comics, like in a world. And, that's the voice he brings to it. It's really cool. And working with just like other vendors like Brand IQ and our in-house systems team to get the data to them. So personalized video is what kicks off getting all of these getting all of these blog topics over to them. But we've already warmed them up. So we've been warming them from freshman, sophomore year, sending them not crazy amounts of emails. We're talking like an email a quarter, or, like a long extended drip campaign, just kind of getting them interested in Pitt, making sure their emails are open to our servers. So we're hitting the actual inbox and not their spam filters. So by the time that we are top of funnel juniors, really getting them ready to apply, we're talking to them in January. We're getting them prepped. The questions you need answered in the spring. What type of school should I be looking at? How's the admissions process? Like those really high level questions. And then by the end of the series, you're getting things like what needs to be included in my application? How do I write a personal essay? What should I include? What shouldn't I include? Are extracurriculars really that important? Because there are some students who that's what they did. They hit the books, that's all. Maybe they hit the books and had a small job, had a job on the side in the summers, but they didn't necessarily do a bunch of activities. So trying to help students gauge what makes them already so special. And it sounds very cliche, but it's true. Like when they come, they're filling out their application and they're like, I don't understand. What do you mean? Like, what makes me an individual? Like they're overthinking it, almost like you see the smoke coming out of their ears.
Well, and give them the confidence to put themselves forward and know that they've got something special that they should be sharing with the world. which is so important. When you say personalized video, what is that? Is
Oh, it
is
is.
it the words and the video match to what the students' interests are? What does that look like?
So what's personalized about it is their name and their location. But the video it's like an introduction to what Pitt's campus is. And it's very upbeat. It's extremely high energy. And for an introvert like me, I'm just like, ooh, that's a lot. But this next generation's built different. So it's almost like a virtual come along with me, come and check Pitt out, or why you should check Pitt out. There are voiceovers from like our Pathfinders, and like little snippets of them just saying like Pitt is it, or come along, check it, or you should check it out, or oh, I love Oakland, like, and everything is kind of as if you're going around campus and even into the city of Pittsburgh itself. And it like ends with like a welcomes you type, like, can't we have to welcome you to Oakland, or, so it's,
Yeah.
yeah,
That seems like
very
a really
cool.
nice like introduction and lead into and let us help you
Yeah.
along the way in this moment that you're in right now. I want to talk about data next. You've worked a lot to bring structure and data into the planning around all of this. How are you using data to choose topics? We already talked about the qualitative data, but
Yeah.
once you have the blog running, you have the quantitative to go with it
Yes.
too. So how are you using the data to inform your topics, optimize your posts, and even help you write the content?
It's like Sam's my numbers girl.
Yep, that's all me. So 9 times out of 10, I actually use our Incura dashboards that we have set up with them. They have a whole research tab that they take classes past and send them different surveys, and they ask all of the questions that we essentially need to know for our, not only prospective students, but admitted students, transfer students, international students, whatever it may be. So I will first take that information and kind of figure out like what were the top 3 things that students were concerned about when looking for a university. Why did they decide to come to Pitt as opposed to one of our competitors? Why did they choose one of our competitors as opposed to Pitt? What things are they most interested in? Are they looking for grad school bound? Are they looking for just their general like social focus? Are they looking for internships? Like what is most important to them when they come to a university? And I essentially take that and also then do just like additional research about the generation as a whole. What are they most interested in? What language speaks to them the most? Are they looking for more formal? Are they looking for more laid back? Are they looking for the institution to be a guiding light for them? Or are they looking for the institution to be like an institution? Like, this is how it is. Here you go. Essentially take all of that information and then kind of figure out like, okay, what are we currently doing? And then what could we do?
What are the
And that's
gaps?
kind of like what Mary pointed on. Like I still have so many other ideas for blog topics that I keep bringing up to her. Because like the more research that we do about our international students, like it's not just about coming to Pitt, but like there's visa requirements
Yeah.
that they need to get.
Coming to the US.
There,
Yeah.
like what is it going to
It's a
be like
whole
going
other
to a
world.
whole different, literally side
Country.
of the world
Yeah.
to come to college? What are those 4 years plus going to look like? And what is the difference between an education you can get in the States as opposed to your home country? So like there's an idea that we haven't gone into yet, just because right now it's mostly focused on just general freshman students, typically tiered towards domestic, but like there's so many other opportunities that we have there. Another one that has come to light a lot recently from just talking to even students at our admitted student day events, like what were you most interested in? What was a concern for you being in an urban campus? I mean, like we're not in downtown Pittsburgh, but like we are in the city.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we are a half a mile away from downtown
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, essentially.
It's like they could step out their dorm and walk there. Like it's pretty close.
Yeah. So like, is that a concern for you? Like being in a major city, like is that a concern going to college there? And one of the things that kept coming up was campus safety and security. How is Pitt reacting to campus safety? What are the different things that parents can even get when it comes to their student safety on campus? Is there a system that they can sign up for, which luckily for Pitt that there is, but like just other things that you're essentially telling them, hey, we know that this is an issue for you. This is how we address it. Make sure that whatever other university you're looking at also addresses this concern in the way that works best for you.
Well, kudos
Because,
to
like,
you because you're doing a really good job of combining the tech and the human,
mhm.
right?
Thanks.
To
And the
drive all of this.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the human is the number one important thing.
Yeah.
Because if you're not listening to your students tell you what they want, then you're just essentially pushing your agenda onto them. The upcoming generations don't want that. They want to make their own decisions. They want to take all the information that they have and do their own research and make the decisions. That's why like we've been pushing YouTube videos even. Like one of my ideas that I want to push is like having our Pathfinders essentially do blog posts in video form, because we found that one of the number one ways that prospective students look at a university is through their YouTube page.
Yeah.
So we've been starting to push that more, and like just how are our students getting the data? And then how can we better serve them with what we know?
Where does technology come into play to help you get this work done or free you up to actually be listening and connecting with the students so that the content you're choosing is so powerful? Is there implications with generative AI or other tech that's helping you produce this content and helping make this blog what it can be?
We are fans
Absolutely.
of AI. I was like, you want to
Absolutely.
elaborate on that one, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love using ChatGPT. It's one of my favorites. Mary likes to take the different AI generators and have them compete against each other.
It's true.
So, but I will a lot of the times, like, especially if I'm writing an email or if I'm really trying to figure out like what's a good catch that's going to get them in a subject line. And I'll come up with a regular topic and say like, this is something that's important to a student. How do I word this for somebody who's 17 years old? Or like input into ChatGPT, like our different personas that I create, and then say for persona A, how would they perceive this message? Or how would you rephrase this message for persona B? And being able to just kind of use that. And then I love like all the different examples. And then I go through and I'm like, ooh, that one would catch me. Because then you also have to kind of put yourself in the student's perspective or in the parent's perspective and say, would I care about that? Or have I gotten an email from 50 other universities with the exact same subject
What
line?
a great example of how we should be using AI, because you're not using it as a replacement for yourself. You're using it as an assistant for yourself. And in particular, your example shows how we still have to make the decisions. AI can't make those strategy decisions. They can't know our audience the way that you do, that you so clearly do on that really deep level. So what a great example. Mary, do you have favorite ways that you like to use AI?
I like to pit them. I do like to pit them against each other.
It's like a boxing match.
Yeah.
Versus ChatGPT.
I mean, I do also like to tell it when it's wrong, so I can really am just like making sure it's
getting it
kicking
better.
out something that I really want. Like every other office, we use paid media. Some things perform better than others. I will take the paid media blurbs that are outperforming other ones, depending on where we are in the cycle. I'll drop it into ChatGPT or Gemini and ask it to write me, I actually just did this morning, write me 10 subject lines using this as inspiration. So maybe not necessarily using like rephrasing it, but using it as inspiration. So I'm making it actually think and work a little bit more. I found that it almost humanizes the robot just a scotch. And occasionally I will make it rework it. I'm like, this didn't really fit our brand style. Can you update the voice to be a little bit more educational and spunky? Because while University of Pittsburgh is a very serious kind of brand, research institution, a little more straight-laced, we're still talking to kids, like we're still talking to kids between the ages of like 12 and 19. So the way I talk to a teenager is definitely not the way I'm going to talk to a donor. They're going to think you're cringe. So, you just gotta...
Like, we are not the target audience.
So far from
we
it.
are not who we are talking to. We're their parents' ages. Like, we're
It's
talking
crazy.
to their parents. Like, right? Like, our target audience is 10 to 20 years younger than us.
Yeah.
So, like, the
It's
messaging
wild.
that works for us isn't working for them.
That's another great example, though, Mary, about the human intervention and how your expertise is still needed, even as you're using it to assist you. it made me wonder the channels you're using to get the blog in front of everybody. Are you using paid media to get in front of everybody? I know you mentioned email, but what are the best ways to get the students to the blog?
So the beautiful thing about something that is SEO driven is you still are using more organic channels. Yes, we're using email. Yes, we have emails for students and for parents. They're separate. The content is different. They lead to the same information, but the approach of how we talk to them is drastically different. Yes, we're doing organic social. So what goes up on Instagram is similar to what will go up on Facebook. I know it's all meta, but I still call it Instagram, Facebook. It's fine.
Well, there's different target audiences
that's
for
true.
those two
I was
platforms.
like, your parents tend to be more on, well, the older generation of parents for these students right now are on Facebook. The younger generation of parents and the students are on Instagram. And then there are also other platforms that I would like to leverage. It's in the works. So Sam mentioned her YouTube. It didn't fall on deaf ears. I'm just adjusting it slightly because ideally I would love we have social media ambassadors with our team. They don't report to me. They report to a different manager on our team. So that would be giving her more work to be like, hey, can your social media ambassadors do a video only blog of these like podcast style of just our blog topics and go, like I couldn't just do that to her. So we're trying to figure out what that looks like and how that work because the students' schedule is a little chaotic. So trying to also recognize they're still students.
Yes. Yeah, they're not on the professional staff. What are the topics that have resonated most, and have there been any surprises, like a blog post that got really popular and that you wouldn't have expected when you posted it to become top of the list?
The pre-med one. It was a shocker. Our arts and sciences school, they asked if it would be a good platform to do this test. And they partnered with our School of Medicine to create the content. We then had to kidify it almost a little bit.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
It was very adult. So we did. We had to just, bring it back a little bit.
We had to make sure that like I could understand it.
Yeah.
That like any of us.
You're the test to me at the moment.
Like we are the test. Like we have no idea what any of these words mean. So like, can we understand?
If we don't understand it, they're definitely not going to understand it.
Yeah. I was like, Google's going to think that this is a bad page. Like, let's figure this out. But ultimately, it was kind of a surprise. I knew we had a very popular program with our. We have a lot of graduate guarantee programs. So if a student applies to do their undergrad at Pitt, they can also then apply for one of, I want to say it's like 12 gap programs with Pitt. And our most popular one is our pre-med, our medical school guarantee. And anywhere between 4 to 6 students get chosen from around 5,000 applicants. So then we still have this huge number of students who are definitely not getting this guarantee, but are still very much interested in Pitt and pre-med. So you need to be able to explain to them that pre-med's not a major. It is a track. You can major in dance and still go on to be a doctor. And in some cases, that's actually a good thing. If you ever look at dance psychology, there is an actual like science behind majoring in something else and then going into the medical field.
Just got to make sure you're taking the right science courses that are needed for preparation for medical school. But that's wonderful advice and advice that students are looking for, and I'm sure that they feel gratitude and connection to Pitt after receiving that advice. Like that, it's something that you're providing value to them, which is so wonderful. I'm wondering, how does this translate to application generation or yield? How are you seeing the blog drive to those kind of enrollment outcomes that we're all looking for?
UTM parameters. I have a whole base in our system that I keep track of every single email, every single link, every single everything that gets sent to students, gets sent to parents, has a UTM attached to it. So I can then go into our GA4 dashboard and I can look up and see what email was the most responsive for students and which one was the most responsive to parents. Which link did they follow most often. So what blog page did they go to? Which one resonated with them the most? Currently, it is pre-med. Most of the time, it ends up being extracurricular activities, and it's from parents because parents need to know, like, do I need to push my child to be involved more, or are they doing okay how they are? Just being able to just track their movements, but like not in a creepy way. Like,
Well, you're not trying to necessarily understand each individual student, right? You're trying to holistically
right. Like, we're trying to look at the
understand
population
what
as
is
a
the
whole.
impact. So if these people were on the blog, did they also then end up on the application page, correct?
Right.
Did they
Yeah.
submit an application
Yes.
inevitably? Yeah.
And we'll also put in on each of the different blog posts, we'll also put footer, like pre-footer images on there that won't necessarily go to the blog. It will go to the apply page. So then I can also then go to our apply page and see how many people actually went from this specific email or from the specific post to the apply page then. And granted, we can't necessarily track conversions for submissions from our apply page, but we can at least see who went and possibly started an application from one of our specific blog posts. And that's one of the reasons that we do keep the blog post going until like August or September, because when we start this in the spring, we're talking upcoming seniors. So seniors who are starting their last year of high school in August. So just starting the process to look at colleges, start applying to colleges. So those first couple of months of their last year of high school is when they're still getting information from Pitt saying, hey, this is how you're going to start applying. This is what you're going to need to do.
So it's
These
when
are
you
the steps
hit
that you have to take.
What I'm hearing is when you hit that application period is when your communications start to become more focused on Pitt. So you're
Correct.
really doing this, playing this role of advising about the admissions process. And then when we're getting to that application opening in August, we start to flip. And we start to sell Pitt a bit more.
Like
Around
middle
the
of,
time,
of July.
yeah, when we're talking about like the college search process, we are sprinkling in visit us. So like we do have we go from being like your cool aunt just kind of guiding you through to, hey, maybe you might want to register to check out our campus.
Yeah.
And then now we're going to sprinkle in, hey, our application opens August 1. Mark it on your calendar. Along with all of the links that Sam's tracking from our social posts and our emails, there are also interlinking on the blog pages themselves. So there are like what's next footers at the bottom of each blog, and they're going to interlink to either take you back to look at the other blog topics that you might be interested in revisiting, or they're going to take you to other parts of our website to like the application tips page, or finding your actual regional like counselor. Maybe they're coming to visit your school.
Yeah.
Can you talk to them and ask them more questions? So it's a multi-tiered approach for sure.
And also, like, are we coming to visit your school?
Yeah.
Like, because we don't just market to people in the Pittsburgh area. I mean, we have events in Boston, Jacksonville, Atlanta, the DMV area, Columbus. Like, we're also coming to you. We know that it's not always possible for you to be able to come to us and take like a nice little tour of our campus. So like, let us then also come to you, and let's be there for the students in ways that we can be, that are efficient for us.
And you've proven already. You've already been with them along the journey. So then when you get to that moment of, okay, let's take the next step when it comes to Pitt, it's very natural, and you've earned the right to ask them for that. So
yeah,
when many schools are talking about personalization and authenticity, you're all actually doing it. Blog post by blog post, through the email, on the social media. So it's really strategic and a student-first way of thinking, and I applaud you for it. And thank you so much for being on the show and talking about these inner workings of this blog-first strategy that's happening at Pitt.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
This is awesome.
Where can everyone find you? Are you guys on LinkedIn? Is that the best way to connect?
Yeah, on LinkedIn, I'm Mary Flagg Lewis. Flagg is with 2 G's.
I'm just Samantha McGill.
Yeah, she's simple.
We'll put those links in the show notes too. And thank you all for listening. If you're inspired to rethink your own content strategy, try what Mary and Samantha talked to us about. Go talk to your frontline admissions counselors or call center professionals and ask them, what are students asking? That's your homework. Stay tuned for the next episode.